Now, all right, all right, all right. Here we go. Welcome to the Arrogant Witch Show. I am Witch NAIMA, and today's topic is tapping into and using your primal power for creation. And I'm always referring to larger creations, right? And large is subjective. You decide what is large to you. So what's going on here? The Arrogant Witch Show, just here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I, Witch NAIMA, am here to focus on that lifelong ignored magical melanin witch. Who was born into a bloodline of enormously powerful women and men, okay? Who have been born in this lifetime to do extraordinary things, which require enormous power. And because we are this, historically rejected and ignored group, because we live in a world that loves to ostracize that which is not normal, we have mastered hiding and pretending and amnesia, forgetting like we don't know things. But now the power, the fear, the pain has become too great, The pain has become too great. We have realized that the marriages we have hidden behind, the lies we tell ourselves, the false selves that we live require too much pain. And we are coming out of hiding. That's why I'm here, to help us come out of hiding. Do the work that we were born for, not that we would just like to do because that's my passion and I just love it so much, and there's a place for that. Okay, so I'm not downplaying that, but this is for those of us who we cannot sleep at night if we don't do what we were born to do. Okay, we start self-destructing if we don't do what we were born to do. We will kill ourselves or other people if we don't do what we came here to do. We're not fucking around with our existence no more. So primal self, your primal self, which most people keep pretty tampered down. We keep it pretty tampered down because your pastor said, and your husband said, and the patriarch said, and your girlfriend said, and that chick who you really like on YouTube said, and all the dominant consciousness says that primal power, chaotic power, messy power is unacceptable. And see, so our human selves want to be accepted and liked and approved of, but the deeper part of you that was born to do very specific work in this world will strangle yourself, as it already has been, right? It will continue to strangle you if you try to adhere for the rest of your life to the binds that the normal dominant consciousness says is the way. Hey, yeah, so that's what we're doing here today. That's why I exist. That's why the Arrogant Witch Show exists. And so you will hear things here that you perhaps have never heard before, or that you've only thought to yourself, you've only sensed, you never wanted to say out loud, you've never heard a person, you've definitely never heard a Black girl say, okay? And so, the closer you come in, the more uncomfortable it could feel, the more, chaotic it can start to feel, because we are living in multidimension. We don't just get on YouTube and talk about multidimension and be all teacher, preacher. We live multidimensionally, okay? Your back will hurt when you start dealing in real power. You will need to take more naps than normal when you start dealing in real power. You will have people just magically disappear from your life when you start dealing in real power, okay? Your job, I'm getting ready to get into the topic, give me a minute. Your job is to commit, okay? So I've talked about this countless times. You make the decision, like the video, right? If you're here all the time and you come to take, you're here to take and get value, like the video, okay? Your job is to commit, okay? Give your whole self over to the thing. Your whole self over to the thing. Cut off all comforts. Yeah. Cut off all comforts. Yeah. Now, and there's caveats. Listen, if you don't get what I mean when I say that, okay, maybe later. Give your whole self over, because you're gonna be miserable if you don't anyway. You're gonna be miserable if you don't anyway. I mean, listen, you ain't. This is not what I want and hope. This is already happening in your world, right? If you're like me, if you were born to do very distinct work in the world, if you are a magical melanin witch, you already miserable. You've already faced the door of suicide. You already don't fit in. You already live in the dark all alone. Like, so you're gonna do that until you kill yourself or your body leaves this earth, or you're going to give your whole self over to that which you came here to do. And recognize and admit that you are a pioneer. Yes, that you were born this way. And that it is your time. It's why you were even born, to bring forth the thing that only you have. And your job is, as everybody is responding to you and calling you crazy and weird and the devil and leaving your life, and you're feeling horrible and figuring it out and getting yourself together, your job is to stick with it. Stick with it. Stay steady. Stay steady. Stay with it. And then eventually, what I promise you is the right people will come around. They will come around. They will watch you. They will feel you in their sleep, and they will come around. And they will say, thank you for coming out. The way I get emails now, the way women who have joined the Arrogant Witch community say now, thank you for coming out of hiding, because now I feel like I can come out of hiding. This is your job. Okay, this is your job. Thank you. So using your primal, I need to edit that title. Oh, that's good too, using your primal for creation. So what is primal energy? Your primal, okay, oh, actually, so I was thinking about this before I came here. So I'm getting into the topic now. A woman emailed me the other day who came into one of my funnels and said, what is Demon's Greetings? Because in the funnel that I have set up, a series of emails goes out. And in one of the emails, the end of the email says, Demon's Greetings, Witch NAIMA. She emailed me, thanking me, right? And asked me, what does Demon's Greetings mean? I responded to her, demon means divine. The original meaning of demon means divine, okay? So I'm getting ready to be chaotic, and then I'm gonna bring it all together. And what you can walk away with today and beginning to tap into and use your primal power, which is necessary, like you'll figure it out, right? So another thing I was thinking of before I came here is how I'm able to own you, how people are able to own you, how you may be able to own people, right? So what does demon mean? Okay, the original meaning of demon is divine. How am I able to own you? How are you able to own, meaning anything you run from owns you. Anything you run from owns you. I don't care how it's packaged, how you try to make it look a certain kind of way to make yourself feel better about running. Whatever you run from owns you. Okay, so demon, what's the original meaning of demon? Divine. How do I own you? Because you run, right? That's how I'm able to own you. And, okay, and then connecting that to demon. I'm scared. So you're owned by it, right? I have a quote that will be going out in the future, and I'm paraphrasing it. And somebody said, do demons exist? And the response was, yes, demons do exist. You created it in your mind, you think about it, you give it its power, therefore it exists. You run from it. Oh, I had a message just come. You run from it, it owns you. All right, now primal energy. Okay, now I call this subjective because different people refer to it and define it differently. As far as I'm concerned, any creative impulse, right? Any infinite creative impulse that that just knowing, the speed, that infinite, that is primal creative intelligence, also known as demonic, also known as chaotic, also known as primal. And what do all these words have in common? There are things that can be triggering, charging for people. Chaotic, oh my God, I don't want to be chaotic. I want to have clarity and calm, and I want to be at peace with myself. We must have peace. Demonic, oh my God, my pastor, my preacher, my friends, my mom, people are going to think demon, primal, I'm not an animal. Primal, like, it triggers all this energy of like, no, like, I don't have anything to do that. But if I start talking to you about peace and clarity and harmony and all that, the new age trappy stuff where you get so hooked into peace and harmony and clarity, which first of all is a coming together of chaos and peace. You can't even have true peace without some. Anyway, I'm not going to go. So when I talk about primal energy, I mean that deep, full, creative force that is its own language, is it its own intelligence, and it just knows and is hungry. Go Google it, right? Come to your own level of understanding. I'm here to give you my perspective, and as a being in a body that's pigmented, okay? One of the reasons why we run from it so much is because we don't want to perpetuate this highly sexualized idea that the world has of Black women. That's one reason, right? Like, we don't want to be seen as the whore, the promiscuous, inviting sexual, right? We don't want to be seen as too much. Oh my God, there's one. We don't want to be seen as too much. We don't want to be seen as anything that's going to shake the boat and make us look in any way that can have us be ostracized or rejected. Oh God, and if you're married, this is why I will be single until I meet a man who's whole enough to be with a primal woman. And me being with a primal man. When we're truly primal, all of the bounds, the binding that's associated with trying to be a good wife and a righteous wife and a good husband and a righteous woman, they conflict. They don't even work together. When you are responding to, now, does that mean you get a primal impulse to go and fuck 3 guys? Does that mean you're gonna go fuck 3 guys? Look, that's between you and your spouse. The point I'm making is, you lie and try to tamper it down and be like, well, the Bible says. Where has that gotten you? Right? You start lying, you're dead. Your marriage is dead. And then what it becomes is a bunch of unspoken agreements, unspoken lies, unspoken agreements to keep you guys bound and comfortable in that marriage so you can feel a fake comfort. Listen, I know how this works, okay? So how do you engage with and use your primal energy, that impulse to go, to create, to have, to be, here's your walk away. This is what you walk away with. This is your walk away, baby. First of all, okay, so this one is redundant. First of all, you start telling the truth, right? Now, you tell physiological truth, okay? Remember I shared the story about I met this guy. Just because I'm married doesn't mean I'm not attracted to another man, right? Just because your husband is married doesn't mean he doesn't look at another woman and be like, ooh, Oh, shit. I'm not going to even look at that and talk to that and then every now and then you come across somebody where like you don't even want to be in the same room with them because you feel like you will jump and hump them if y'all just be around each other. Like that doesn't end because you're with a spouse. Let me speak for myself. Maybe that does end for some people, right? But when you are born with electric DNA, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking to a certain group of women and men, right? When you're born with pulsating blood, okay? And you either get so you don't. Like I can hear some people that are like one woman commented on my my Facebook ad about Black witches are not more powerful than any other group, and I think that's arrogant, and I think that's very Western in thought. Listen, I'm not talking from an egoic, I'm better than you, we need to, no, I'm talking from what is. Like, this is either in your reality or if it's not. If it's not, obviously you're going to disagree with me because it's not in your reality. Okay? So I'm saying, if what I describe in each of the Arrogant Witch YouTube shows relates to you, it relates to you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And what has happened is we have ignored ourselves for so long. We have been disrespected for so long. Men, wise men, like even I was like looking at this guy on YouTube who has all this knowledge, but he's not living it. He's bound and swear up and down he's elite. Like, that was a great trickery for me. And it also confirmed like this thing that I was, part of me was like waiting, like, well, like, kind of like maybe I need to, see if maybe I'm being kind of ridiculous, even though it was always there. The truth and the fullness was always there, but I wouldn't allow it to be so. I kept arguing with it. Okay. And this is as recent as last year. Like, I know this, but because we are so trained and it's just normal. People ignore us. They disrespect us. They tell us we got to have a man to create and do. I'm not going to go back and forth about it, right? 99.9% of men do not know how to be. We barely know how to be with ourselves. How the hell is a man going to be with us? We barely know how to be with the fullness and the truth and the primal, creative, demonic power that we are. It is enormous. When we had our special, I'm going to give you some more takeaways. So give me a minute. When we had our special community and power training, I think it was last week, this woman broke down in tears, and like I could feel, everybody on the line could feel the allotness of what she just allowed in that moment. This is a woman who talked about just being in hiding and staying in the dark and everybody calling her crazy and ignoring her and misunderstanding her and making her bad and wrong. And how since she was a child, she's been getting visits and instructions to do very powerful things. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. Since she was a child, getting instructions to do things. You think a man, if she can't hardly be with herself, you think a man is gonna come in and be able to be with her? I don't give a fuck how good that marriage look. If you are a magical melanin witch who's born with demonic, divine, electric blood, not some ordinary, average, spiritual Black girl who's a good wife, has her kids and plays the normal life, but want to talk about spiritual, that's normal spiritual talk. Get in your lane, embrace your position, and go. Do not compare yourself to the average spiritual folk. They will debate you up and down. Everybody want to be a powerful God until it's time to live like powerful gods. Until it's time to be deeply uncomfortable. Until it's time to not belong. Until it's time to divorce your spouse because you know you're not going to be able to go where you was born to go as long as you're married to that person. I already know what this looks like. already been like maybe, oh, he seems like he, oh, she seems like she, because what was really going on is I wasn't allowing myself to fully, when I talk about give yourself fully over to what you know, man, that shit is a tall order. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. Like that shit is so, it's like, you see, like, I'm just so, that's why I don't, like, I'm not like trying to convince nobody. I'm not trying to debate. I'm not trying to just get into this back and because it is so like, I've embarrassed myself so many times hoping I could find another way other than the way that was told to me. I have, you know what I mean? I have risked time and time and time and time and risk and try and see. And when you are what I have been describing, you are hungry to be around your people. You're not going to let nothing stop you from being around your people. Most of the women, 90% of the women who submitted their application for the Arrogant Witch community had just came across my ad within the last 4 days before they submitted their application. That is an indication of, this is for me, go. Like, that is what you want your people to be like with you. And that's what they will be like when you give your whole self over to what it is that you are for. And I'm sorry, part of me feels like my heart hurts. I feel like some sadness around saying this. Cause I can see how the human self could be like, man, this is so unfair, and how you might want to cry, and how it's just like, you know, being in a female body with female conditioning, you know, there could be a lot of resistance around this. But let me talk to you from my experience being in this body. I have known since I was a teenager that I just don't belong in this world the way it is. I told you guys last week about how I just did not like, when I started to realize how the world works as a teenager, and I talked about this last Thursday on the Let Your Weird Be Loud show, about how I just didn't like the way the world worked. I didn't like you got to wait till you're 16 to drive. Why? Like the rules that my mom had. When I started to realize, like, oh, I'm in a female body, so this is what's expected of me. Oh, and he's in a male body, so that's what's expected of him. Oh, and this is what like being an adult is. Like, you like go get a job and you like do this to make money, and like that pays for everything, and like that's how people live. And like when I started to see like that's how things work, I just fell into such a misery. And I was just like, this is not going to work for me. And I have just known the whole time. So whenever I have gotten with men, the unconscious agreement that I have gone into the relationship with, and I can say this now in hindsight, but I would always go in with this like agreement with myself that I'm not going to let my full self show. And then when I would let some of my full self show, there was always this like, I remember one time my ex-husband and I were making out. And this was when like I was just a little bit kind of exploring my sexual self, just a little bit, just not really, but just like a little bit. And I did something in the bedroom that I didn't normally do. And he pushed me off of him and was like, who you fucking, right? And it was just like other situations that happened in our relationship where I was just like, I'm not going to be able to become what's calling me in this marriage. It was like so many things that, and then after him, different guys that I would date. I had another ex-boyfriend. And by the way, I was 27 when I was dating this guy, and he was 39. And I remember one time I was asleep, and when I woke up, he was sitting at the edge of the bed, like he was watching me sleep. And I turned over and we started chit-chatting a little bit. And he was just like, NAIMA, you're powerful, and that scares me. First of all, I applaud his bravery for even saying that, right? Like a lot of men are not going to say that, right? He was like, NAIMA, you're powerful, and that scares me. And it was like other men, like another guy I was dated, like I saw his jealousy rise. And I had never known men to be jealous. I had never seen it like that. And I was like, oh my God, this man is jealous. And this is like a macho ass, like I'm a man type dude, you know? And it's been, I'm just, Then I was dating another guy in London, black dude, Jamaican. You know, a lot of Jamaicans immigrate to London. Um, Same thing, just like scared in the relationship. And so, what I can say from experience, okay, dating so many different men over the last 15 years, it is, I don't care how wise he sounds, how much knowledge he has, how masculine he appears, you will know if you can be your full self with a man. Like, I know that now. Like before, like part of me was like, okay, there was an agreement to keep myself kind of quiet and only like a fraction of my power to be in this relationship with him. And then over the years, it was like kind of like, you know how we see if we can be with a person honestly and how much of ourselves we have to bend to be in the relationship, right? And it got to the point where the resentment started to build in the relationship and the disrespect. And I didn't want it to be like that. Like, I don't want to disrespect you. But so then it's just like, men do not, most men, okay, I would say 9 out of 10 men, no matter how, they can be good guys. And that's the thing, they can be a good guy. That's not enough. Just being a good guy who pays all the bills and loves you. But you see him scared when you start you're asserting your primal power, when you start moving with, just because you just know, like, gosh, we just know, you guys, we know. And if they could just trust that we know versus this, the man of the house and I'm the leader, and I'll speak for myself, I can no longer pretend and like because your ego needs to feel like the leader, like the man. Like I cannot, I've already done that. And what's in me demands to come out. This is huge. It demands to come out. This is why you guys constantly hear me talk about that fine discernment and this fine work. This is what the elite really looks like. Everybody wants to be the elite until it's time to live like the elite, until it's time to be uncomfortable like the elite. We have been ignored and disrespected. Am I lying or what? You know the thing about the Black woman is most disrespected? Come on now, where do you think that come from? You think that's just because of slavery? And the world, there's so much fighting in between the sexes right now. And it's like that coupled with the fragile male ego and like, listen, we have work to do. Our lives are on the line. I know things. And yes, you know things too. And if you don't respect, first of all, if you're elite, then we're fucking perfect. Like, oh my God, can I meet an elite? Like, hello, please, like, let's, like, I want to have sex and make love with a fellow elite. Like, I want that kind of creation. I want the harmony and the chaoticness and the balancing of polarities with a fellow elite. And once that happens, this shit is completely and radically over on a whole new level. I'm already a force by myself. When that happens, a lot of motherfuckers is gonna die. A lot of motherfuckers is gonna die. Like, that is where we're going. That is where we're going. So primal, you start dealing in primal energy, that's electric, that's speed, that knows, that's not filled with delay and trying to be a good wife or a good husband and, you know, fear of losing that. If you fear losing your spouse, over, dead, finished. It's over. And then if you can even stop because of that fear, you're not an elite. If you can even stop, if you can even, like I said last week, if you can keep yourself small to be with a man, that thing is not, you're not born with that thing that won't let you rest. Because when you're born with the thing that won't let you rest, it will annihilate everything and everybody. You will kill yourself. because it is in you, forcing you to do that shit because it is demanding to come out through you specifically. What an honor. What an honor. Okay. So what else you can do, what you can walk away with, okay? First of all, let me plug this right now. Doors to the Arrogant Witch community open Monday, August 3rd. Okay, they open again August 3rd for 1 week only. Okay. So that's going to be like for the steady, I mean, and this is for people who are committed to the long term. The Arrogant Witch community is for those who are committed to the long term. Okay. But some things, please like the video. Thank you very much. If you're watching as a replay, please like the video. Okay, it really helps with the algorithms and helps people find the video. But other things you can walk away with, in addition to the first one that I gave earlier, which is tell the physiological truth. And what that looks like is, I want to fuck him. I want to fuck her. I want to do this. I want to do that. Allowing yourself to have things without making yourself wrong and bad about it. In order to allow yourself to have, you got to be telling the truth, right? All right. Next, what you can do is start engaging with the things that are forbidden. Oh, baby. Baby. See, this is another reason why I couldn't be with guys who, you know, need me to be good. And, you know, I remember one time I was dating this guy in Paris, and something happened in my dreams, and I was talking about my dreams and this impulse that I got to do something, and he was like just giving me this look like, bitch, what? You know what I'm saying? And so start engaging with things that are forbidden, that just feel wrong, but you feel drawn to go do it. Yeah, see. This is not for your average spiritual Black girl who needs to be good and is trapped by the New Age movement and is trying to look holy and like a queen. This whole sanitized ass queen that everybody talking about. Queens run shit. Like real queens. Queen Elizabeth, who's over there in England, that bitch ain't benevolent, bitch. She presents as that, right? They have, do you know that they have regular socials at the palace with the media because they want to make sure that they nurture a relationship with the media so the media talks positively about them? The kind of backdoor things that are done to make sure they are constantly looked at in a benevolent, bright light. Do you know the level of murder, the level of organization, the level of destruction that these people have engaged in to maintain their power? So all of this sanitized ass queen people trying to create with her legs crossed and trying to be a good wife and be at home and take care of the whoop. First of all, if you a queen, you create enough to where you got other motherfuckers taking care of your house. First the fucking all, right? And you running shit, and not in no masculine way. That's what I mean by this modern world, this new age trap. All of these men who need to be masculine and you don't even really have the full power from their woman, because they woman know that if she comes with full power, that nigga ain't gonna be able to handle it. So she play nice and play, because we know how to pretend, don't we? We know how to play roles and make sure we keep peace in the house, right? While the fullness of what we have to come out never comes out. And for average spiritual Black girls, they can do that. For average spiritual Black girls, they can do that. And so people aspire to be that because it gets praise. And look at this queen with her king and her husband. Meanwhile, don't nobody know that she's only being a fraction of who she is, but it looks good. Oh. When I look at a couple, I look straight through that woman. Is this woman in full power? If she's in full power, they are, you just can't fuck with them. They are multi-dimensional in every way. And they will be disliked by a lot of people because they're not going to be that socially acceptable, nice. Look. The way Black people are at the bottom right now and all this and all that, my goal is to reverse that. to the degree that I can. When I say I mean everybody and everybody who's on my team, the man, the team leaders, the people in the community, to reverse that in my lifetime to the degree that I'm allowed to. And when I say allow, I mean in harmony with all the spirits that help me do what I do. Okay. My job is to reverse that. In order to do that, you got to really disrupt some things. And it's not on YouTube doing videos, not even just doing coaching calls. It's committing to the long game, actually living that which is inappropriate and primal and demonic, which is divine. Keep it, okay? Which is actually living both dark and light, right? When you're living that, you get impulses to do things that are wrong. When I say wrong, I mean wrong to most people. Like, for example, Rochelle is a good example. Rochelle is like, I have a strong desire to have multiple husbands. Now, most people are going to be like, girl, bitch, right? But how many other women have impulses to do things that are forbidden? Right? Have impulses to, you meet a man. Like, I have literally met men, whether we actually like exchange words or I just saw them from a distance, where I've been like, if I fuck him, he will become a better man. Like, I've literally been like at a grocery store or out in my day, minding my business, and I'll just see a man and I'll be like, he will be a better man if I fuck him. Now, if I could follow that impulse, right? He could be a married man, right? And how many women gonna follow that? This is my point, right? You doing what is forbidden. Now, you want to be elite walking God, but are you gonna follow that impulse? Like, I talked about that guy I met and I saw him, he had a girlfriend, and I was just like, I want to fuck this guy now. Now, I want to fuck this guy now. And the great effort that I put into making sure that didn't show. Because I felt shame and I was trying to be good, and I was just, and if they find out, they're gonna think I'm a whore, and I don't want them to think this about me, and the amount of energy, you know how much energy you leak living lies? Are you lying? Like, where are you lying in your life right now? You know how much energy it takes to maintain the lie? Energy that you could be using to wield and create some reality that thrills you. And then I told about how I told the truth. Him and her scheduled a meeting. I need to talk. I would like to have sex with you. I don't think we can work together because I have a very strong desire to have sex with you. And I don't think that's going to work here. And the level, like, first of all, the silence that existed after I said that. The silence, I'm talking about, oh God, so much was communicated in that silence. And he was just like, God, and you could just hear the sincerity in his voice. Where he was just like, man, I so respect you for that. Like, that's peace. That's peace. That is intimacy. That's one of my favorite quotes. Radical honesty is the highest form of intimacy. He was like, man, I respect that so much. I respect that so much. And she was like, thank you for your honesty. I agree with you. we can't work together. I agree with you, and I thank you for your honesty. And you know, every time that I saw him after that, because I was still seeing him around town, there was like such a respect. You could just feel just like do you want that, or do you want to be running from your power, your primal power, and hiding and trying to be something you're not, and faking? And I mean, this is what I mean. Like, I'm tired of Black spiritual teachers. They're not taking us where we need to go. They're not taking us where we were born for. This is why you must carve out your own path. This is why arrogant witch exists. So, okay, that's number two. Number one, tell the physiological truth. Number two, start deliberately engaging in things that are forbidden, that you feel forbidden, things that you have this reaction to that's like, no, I can't, the way I just described, the way I responded to this guy. And it doesn't have to be sexual. It could be anything that feels forbidden. And this is why we have the arrogant witch community, because one of the things that we're going to do for those of you who are already in there and those of you who are going to be coming is we're going to go on what I call 30-day rampages, or maybe week-long rampages. You decide the length of time. And that's where the thing that you have in your life that you hide behind, that you run from, that you're scared of, where you deliberately engage with it for a week. It's in a time, as a week, 2 weeks, 30 days, whatever. And in that, you alchemize, you overcome the fear. You start to chisel away at the way it keeps you bound. Yeah, man, we about it. We about it for real, for real. We about actually walking knowledge. Okay, the walking elite. So we will be disliked by a lot, many people. I would not be surprised or bothered when it gets to the point where arrogant witch becomes so big, where motherfuckers start wanting to drag it, and the attacks and verbal this, and I would not be surprised at all. See, right now we're still very small. Give it 2 years. Sometime within the next 2 years, and let's see what the hell is gonna happen. Because some shit, I'm telling you, my back been hurting since yesterday. A lot of shit is moving. And listen, I'm not interested in being here on planet Earth if I'm not creating a whole new world. And any person that can't deal with that is dead. You cannot have space in this world where I exist. So when you are born with electric blood, and the way that I'm talking about, if you're like me, you need arrogant witch, and you already know it. All right. So number three, what you can do today to start living with versus rejecting and pushing down primal power, which also dries up your pussy, by the way, is start masturbating. And as you masturbate, think of your fantasies, the sexual things that you have never said out of your mouth, but you only think it. Start masturbating while thinking about your fantasies, or thinking about the dreams of your heart. Ooh-wee. Thank you for the likes, you guys. I'm getting ready to wrap up here. I think within the next 10 minutes, unless y'all comments make this go on longer. All right. Hey, Camille. We got a new face around here. Asasadelic. Hey, oh, I love them butterflies. Yeah. We just can't anymore, Camille. It is pretty sweet. They did feel that. Isn't that amazing? Men know. Girl, men know. They be knowing, girl. They be knowing. How I look today, y'all? Do I look good? I feel like I look hella good. Oh, God, I look so good. I'm shining. Ooh, girl. All right, let me look. Rochelle, baby girl. So when you going to get your second husband? Are they already in your orbit and you're not letting it happen? Or what? There's something I wasn't ready for. Okay. See that? A lot of people, when they be talking about honesty, they just mean a little bit of honesty, right? They just mean, and they don't even, they mean honesty about other things and other people's business and other like knowledge. But when you bring it home and start telling honesty about self, right? Ah, I the ones I desire, but I experience it with my husband and children. Yes. These men still are willing to open about their love and service to me. Well, what men are you talking about? Service to what? So I'm my husband, children, next one I want to be. Yeah, there you go. I'm never defeated in the love. So, a couple of announcements, then I'm gonna go. Okay, I said Arrogant Witch. The community opens August 4th. No, 3rd, August 3rd, which is a Monday. So much going on. I have a course that's gonna be coming out. I'm not sure, I think within the next 30 days. And that one is gonna be hyper focused on those of you who already know what your unique thing is. You're not wondering, you're not trying to like, find your power. Yes, your power requires cultivation, but you already know what you're here to do. And you're really serious about being magnetic and visible, okay? Being magnetic and visible. And with your magic, having your first $5,000 month or more, right? So if you're beyond 5,000 and you're like, NAIMA, shit, my goal is to do 10, 20, 50, fine. But this course, and it's going to be a live course, meaning I'm going to be involved. It's going to be about 10 weeks, somewhere between, I think, 8 and 10 weeks. And it's going to be hyper focused on you becoming magnetic. And within that course, right, or within 60 days, crossing 5, 10, 20,000, whatever you decide is the goal, but minimum $5,000, okay, for you, okay? That is going to be about 10 weeks. That is going to be no more than, I want to say, about 10 people, because it's live, like I'm involved. And so this links to another thing. To get details, you need to be on the email list community, okay? What I have decided is that the email list community is no longer free. As of Thursday, it will be no longer free. It will be $19 a month to be on the email list community. On the email list community is where you're going to get alchemical things, okay? Content from me, which if you're already on the list, you know what that looks like. And you're going to continue to get that. But then now, because you're paid, there's a level of yesness in me and my writing, because I know that you value it enough to pay for it, okay? So that's $19 a month. And what you can do now is, with the link that's going to be placed beneath this video, within an hour after I'm done here, you enter your email, okay? What are we doing? Yeah, you enter your email and you will get details tomorrow about how to sign up for the recurring alchemical weekly transmissions, okay? And in those, you're going to also get notified about the course coming, about when doors open to Arrogant Witch, about the magic tour. That's the other announcement. There's so many things going on. So I will be in Atlanta in a little over 3 weeks for the first stop of the magic tour, okay? That link will also be beneath this video for you to purchase tickets and see details. I will be in Atlanta, July 29th, and these are very intimate alchemical experiences exclusively for Magical Melanin Witches, okay? This is amazing. And I gotta move. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I was just like, I gotta move. I gotta get on planes. I gotta go meet people. So obviously it's certain people that I'm supposed to meet, right? Because I'm going to, let me see, Atlanta, July 29th, Orlando, July 31st, New York City, August 3rd, 4th, I can't remember. Just go click the link and you'll see that. And then we have 3 more cities, but that's going to be a month or so thereafter. And so this is what I mean by primal energy. You start doing things that are like, because that didn't logically make sense for me to go on tour. It's like, I hadn't been heavy into marketing a lot. It's not like I got a bunch of people who are like, when are you coming to my, all I got was this creative, primal, divine, demonic force that go, and I'm going. Like, how many people do that for something? This is what I mean. Like, you're going to learn how to become fluid and liquid and moist and speedy and agile in that kind of a way, right? That's why you do the 3 things that I talked about here. You start telling physiological truth, you start deliberately doing things that are forbidden, and start masturbating. Like, get yourself moist, get yourself wet, like loosen, you know what I mean? If dance is your thing, dance, it's like, because It's as above, so below, inside, outside. It's like you got this this flexibility, this ability to be able to move with the impulse that comes through you. And it's like, that's why so many of us, we feel stuck and we're trying to get the creative, but then when it comes and you get just a little bit of a glimpse, no, I can't, I'm afraid, I gotta go ask my husband, he ain't gonna approve, and he ain't gonna approve, he's not gonna approve, partly because you're not even empowered and willing to listen. But this flexibility, this moistness, this being able to be agile and move and dance with and be with the primal creative that comes through you, this is a practice, right? For me to be able to just up and go and like that and just trust, move with it, respond, you know, and it's powerful. It's so powerful. So I look forward to seeing. I'm gonna leave that right there. Okay. So that's coming. So within half an hour, because I gotta meet with my people inside the community. Within half an hour after I'm done here, there will be links beneath. One for Magic Tour for you to get tickets. The capacity is 10 in each city. That's another thing. And doors will be closed on July 23rd for the Magic Tour, and for the Magic Tour, okay? There will be a link for the Magic Tour underneath the video. Then there will be a link for you coming into the email subscriber community, which is free until Wednesday. So if you want to continue to receive alchemical transmissions from me via email and all the updates and the life-changing, bank account changing material, that's going to be $19 a month for you to receive via email, okay? And then lastly, doors to the Arrogant Witch community open Monday, August 3rd, okay? So yes, that's the 4th that I'll be in NYC. And that's it for now, y'all. Yes, dance, girl. Yes. Yes. All right. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you. Yay. What house? So Rochelle, are you joining us anywhere? Like, am I going to see you? Are you coming into, right? I see you. You got a lot to talk about. There's a lot moving. All right, loves, I'm out of here. So I'm here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So unless I get called to come back within this week, I will see you guys back here next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Please like this video so it can go up on the algorithms, turn on the notification bell, and then share this video on your Facebook feed, okay? Or anywhere else where you can share it, okay? Lots of love. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye. Remember to practice those 3 things I talked about.